I take this opportunity to welcome you in the awareness of our oneness. You, me, all and everything. There is only one blissful consciousness. It is in this holistic awareness, in this very moment, that you are welcomed. Our theme for this presentation is Modern Spirituality in the Digital Age, Harnessing Technology for the Evolution of Consciousness. I want to preface it with a quotation from Socrates. Socrates was a very wise man because he knew that knowledge is bondage. He was a master in terms of his use of the mind. He maintained what I call a clear mind, a mind not identified with its thoughts. We could say that he was a believer in not believing, a witness of the mind rather than a believer in the mind's thoughts. He used his mind like we use computers today. He thoroughly understood the machine and mastered its use. And thus he was able to maximize his experience of life and access true reality by eliminating any distractions generated by the mind. The mind is our primary computer, and if we master it as an information processing unit, we can grow resultant self-awareness, which is the measure of evolution in individuated consciousness. But, like the computer on your desk, it must be mastered to deliver optimum performance. If you don't understand it, it can cause all kinds of problems and thoroughly confuse you. The result then is stress, imbalance, and fragmentation in your consciousness and the forfeiting of your innate bliss. An unmastered computer can deliver the experience of misery and suffering. So, the same is true of the mind as our primary computer. It must be mastered to deliver a balanced and fulfilling experience of true reality as one blissful consciousness. So herewith then is the quotation from Socrates pertinent to our discussion today. Beware the barrenness of a busy life. We are living in the digital age, the information age, and the speed of information processing is fast and furious. Just to keep pace with the speed of information processing is a full-time focus, 24/7. And it can be very stressful and imbalancing if you are not adept in the management of your brain-mind computer. When people are plugged in 24/7, they fragment and burn out very quickly, which results in radical stress, imbalance, ill health, forfeiture of well-being and happiness, loss of life fulfillment. They also become non-productive and non-creative, hamsters on the wheel, running to exhaustion. And this is easily validated by both corporate and medical statistics. So the remedy, now increasingly recommended by corporate coaches, medical doctors, and spiritual teachers, is to periodically unplug and disengage the mind, the brain-mind computer. And they reference meditation and meditation-related focused awareness techniques as essential remedies for the burnout problem. However, in my understanding and experience, the context of meditation and related focusing techniques they recommend often only adds to the problem. Why is this so? Consider. The context of meditation that they recommend is old, by thousands of years, and therefore is neither precise nor efficient in delivering the intended results. It takes a lot of time to actualize the benefits of meditation using these old and outdated techniques. And that is precisely what modern people don't have an abundance of to begin with: time. So they try unplugging and classically meditating, don't allow the requisite time for its actualization, get frustrated with minimal results, and abandon the practice altogether. Along with ancient meditation techniques, many other de-stressing techniques are also recommended, like yoga and naps and massages and acupuncture. But again, they all require time that is simply not available to the modern person. So I say that we have to find another way, a context relevant to the times in which we live. It's sort of like saying it's time for a new God. Now, I have spoken for years about this and upset a lot of people in the process. What's wrong with the old God, they say. I simply say, it no longer works, and we need a new God relevant to our times. A separate and judgmental God in a far-off heaven is archaic. We need to pay attention to what modern science, quantum physics, is saying about the ground of being and the nature of true reality. So you can stay with the old God if you like, but it's like driving a horse and buggy instead of a modern automobile. It's slow going and may not get you where you intend to go before you die. So the real question is, how do we unplug in a meditative context of balance relevant to our times? And my answer is that we don't have to unplug. Rather, we just have to harness technology to create balance while we use it. Biology and technology have to stop fighting each other and merge for mutual evolutionary benefit. This is what I call living in the digital age and harnessing technology for the evolution of consciousness. So let's explore this a little more thoroughly. Consider this. Biology and technology are both forms of consciousness through which it experiences itself and grows developmental self-awareness. Again, the measure of evolution in individuated consciousness is self-awareness. It could be said that consciousness through all its forms is evolving toward singularity, or total self-awareness, holistic self-awareness, the awareness of itself as one within the eternal now of its happening. To date, biology, human beings, have outpaced technology in evolution toward singularity. In other words, human beings, biology, exhibit more self-awareness and are thus considered the superior forms of consciousness on planet Earth. But technology is soon to surpass biology in the evolutionary measurement of self-awareness. So the question for our times is, when does technology, or AI, become self-aware and surpass biology, human beings, in delivering singularity as a constant? This is projected to happen within the next 50 years, conservatively speaking. So, if biology, human beings, are to keep pace with technology, AI, and evolve the future of now, singularity, or fail and become redundant, we must do as all masters sages and great wisdom traditions have advised us to do for thousands of years. We must invest in self-awareness. We must maximize self-awareness. And in our times, that means harnessing technology for the evolution of consciousness, so that ultimately biology and technology can merge and deliver the human 2.0 experience of singularity, or total holistic self-awareness within the eternal now of its happening. Bottom line, we human beings need all the help we can get. And we had better befriend technology, because our very survival as a species depends on it. Now, let's focus on technology in terms of the meditative context of balance, and see how it can interface with biology to deliver maximum self-awareness, or the progressive experience of holistic and true reality. This would be considered a fundamental and basic way for technology to be harnessed for the evolution of consciousness. First, we have to understand the meditative context in terms of balance, wholeness, and fulfillment. Classical meditation is simply a balancing technique. It's based on an understanding of relative reality with its two polarities. We live in a relative reality, and all experience is relative. Meditation considers the two primary relative polarities as the subjective and the objective. And it says that we are imbalanced by default to the objective, the world around us. To create balance, we must then bring equal emphasis to the opposite polarity, the subjective. Thus, you close your eyes and focus inward to the interior subjective polarity, and balance is the result. Then, awareness expands holistically, and fulfillment is proportional to sustained wholeness. But it takes time and practice. Remember, it was designed when people had a lot of time to sit in caves and meditate. If you've ever tried it, you know what I mean. It takes daily practice with regularity to get results, because it's not so easy to sustain interior focus and resultant balance. So, what to do in our modern, fast-paced lives? What to do? It seems to me that we have to modernize the meditative context and make it relevant to our times. So, how about bringing in science and technology to accomplish exactly that? So now, let's look at meditation as a balancing technique from a more modern scientific and technological perspective. The same relative construct can be seen in the human brain-mind computer. It has two hemispheres, and they correspond to subjective and objective polarized experience. Left brain is objective, and right brain is subjective. We are default imbalanced to the objective, or the left brain. This is termed left brain dominance. If we increase the right brain, the subjective, over the left brain, the objective, we create balance, or what is termed whole brain synchrony. It's the difference in using 10% of your brain compared to 100%. Not only does it change your perception of reality from fragmented to holistic, it makes you superhuman. It lights you up and increases the amplitude of your power. Then the pineal gland becomes actualized more fully, and neurochemical opiation skyrockets. Talk about DMT, altered states, and bliss. Not to mention creativity, productivity, and radically pleasurable holistic fulfillment moment by moment. It's what happens in classical cave-style meditation after a lifetime of dedicated daily practice, several hours a day. It's what the ancients used to call enlightenment. And I've met a few such masters who have actualized the enlightened state of being over a lifetime of daily dedicated practice. And I'm talking several hours a day. And it's impressive. It's amazing, to say the least. But bottom line, it is whole brain synchrony and function. Correspondent metanormal human experience and the fullness of what it means to be human. It remains as potential and possibility for us all. And the evolutionary impulse in consciousness itself is forever driving us in that direction. Now, let's bring in modern technology in relation to the human brain and its function. The use of sonic, binaural, brainwave entrainment technologies have been researched thoroughly over the last 100 or so years. And the principle is simple. Deceleration of the brain waves from beta down to delta reduces brain lateralization and increases whole brain synchronization, with a radical increase in neurochemical secretion. This is what happens when you go to sleep. And just consider how pleasurable sleep is. Well, meditation is a similar brainwave pattern to sleep, but slightly adjusted to keep you wakeful. In terms of brain function, meditation is sort of like wakeful sleep or lucid sleep. And training the brain with such sonic technologies is thus relatively simple. But entrainment technologies have radically evolved over the last 100 years. And if you really know what you are doing on the leading edge of such technologies, you can be very precise in delivering states of whole brain synchrony based on the meditative context of balance. You can embed such precision sonic technologies in white noise or music and create deeply meditative soundtracks that deliver the meditative experience of balance with precision and efficiency. And the result is a thoroughly researched and validated fourfold acceleration factor over low-tech classical techniques of meditation. Remember the horse and buggy versus the modern automobile analogy? You get where you're going a lot faster, which in terms of balance, wholeness, and fulfillment means that it can become a constant in your experience very efficiently and very easily. I first began my research with such technologies in relation to meditation over 35 years ago, studying the meditative experience of cave-dwelling yogis in the Himalayas. And I first introduced it publicly in the 1980s, in the days of cassette tapes, under the trademark Synchronicity High-Tech Meditation. The original advertising campaign used the slogan, "To meditate, push play." And I've remained on the leading edge of this evolving technology and its applications through CDs to MP3s, from analog to digital, from cumbersome cassette players to smartphones and iPods. It's now even available as an app in the App Store under meditation. It has been so refined over the years that you don't even have to audibly hear it anymore. It can be silently playing on your iPod or your smartphone in your pocket and constantly delivering the results. Whole brain synchrony, expansion of awareness, and truthful perception and experience of holistic reality, blissful consciousness, wakefulness and presence, or balance, wholeness, and fulfillment. So, bottom line, enlightenment has never been so easy. And this, to me, again, is the harnessing of technology for the evolution of consciousness. So I say, again, don't unplug. Rather, understand the brain-mind computer and master its usage in conjunction with technology to deliver the fullness of human experience. This, to me, is the mastery of what it is to be human. It's the merging of biology and technology, and the emergence of human 2.0. Isn't that amazing? So, what more can I say? I'm a modernist, and the harnessing of technology for the evolution of consciousness is modern spirituality in the digital age. Because spirituality is the experience of singularity, or holistic reality as one blissful consciousness. And technology can assist biology in actualizing it. Truly, we are living in amazing times. Now, I don't merely talk about such technological applications. I rather endeavor to walk my talk. I use it day in and day out, and have done so for many years. And what is my resultant experience? Very simply, it's the experience of being blissful consciousness 24/7, or the holistic experience of singularity, the eternal now of true reality as a constant. Indeed, very simply stated, I'm happy for no reason. High on life lived holistically for radical fulfillment. And since I am also a human being, the same is possible for you. So let's not just continue talking about it. Let's rather experience it. And the good news is you already are. The technology is embedded in this video presentation. So while being plugged in, you are simultaneously experiencing the context of meditative balance relevant to the times in which we live. It's expansive to your awareness as it increases whole brain synchrony and neurochemical opiation and delivers the experience of being blissful consciousness in the midst of whatever is happening. Like right here and right now. So just observe your experience now. Are you more expanded in your awareness? Are you more peaceful, blissful, slightly opiated, a little more relaxed and de-stressed? What's your experience right here and right now? Simply observe yourself. And also be aware that there are many applications of such technology, and all can be used to substantiate balance and increase proportional holistic experience. This is our focus here at Synchronicity Foundation for Modern Spirituality. We are all about the harnessing of technology for the evolution of consciousness. So again, I say, don't unplug. Rather, master the uses of technology to enhance the evolution of your consciousness and enjoy a more enlightening and fulfilling experience of being human. Live on the leading edge of consciousness as it creates the future of itself. Be all that you are. And finally, just be aware of your experience right here and right now. Simply allow it to be the way that it is. No mental definitions or judgments or illusory stories are required. As Socrates would say, rather just be a witnessing consciousness watching itself. As the Buddha said, to be is the greatest miracle. And this is the brilliance of consciousness, that it can turn its awareness back upon itself and be aware of itself being. And it's a blissful experience. We are here. It is now. We are alive. We are holistically aware. And it's more than enough. If you have any questions, or we can assist you in any way, please contact us and let us further share with you the experience of modern spirituality in the digital age and the harnessing of technology for the evolution of consciousness. I've greatly enjoyed sharing with you and look forward to being with you again whenever it happens. And in final conclusion, once again, I welcome you in the awareness of our oneness. Yes.